Chapter 1. Activating the system only after death. Great Jin Empire. Silken City. The Song family was a well-known noble family in this city. As the seventh son of the Song family, Sanshi was at the age to pursue his studies, but he liked to visit brothels. Perhaps it was because he had gone to the brothel too many times. When the autumn winds came and blew, he became thinner and thinner day by day. As such, he had to secretly take medicine to nourish his kidneys. However, in the middle of the night, Sanshi died. Your yang energy has been depleted. Yang energy +1. You have absorbed power from death and obtained 1 freedom attribute point. You will be resurrected in 3 seconds. No resurrection location set, resurrection on the spot by default. A mechanical voice echoed in Sanshi's mind. He opened his eyes in a daze. How did I die? Wait, that voice just now. He looked at the notification in front of him with a strange expression. No way. The system only activated after I died. In his previous life, he had stayed up late on the earth to cultivate and ascend. After coming to this world for 18 years, he became the seventh son of the rich Song family and had been waiting for his system. Yet this thing never appeared. From his initial expectations to later disappointment, Sanshi eventually accepted his fate and became a rich young master. Song John, the eldest son of the family, was in power and ostracized him. Moreover, he was born from a concubine mother, so he might as well live, lying a simpleton's life and go to the brothel whenever he had nothing to do. Even if he had something to do, he would still go to the brothel to admire the skills of the beauties there. His daily life was quite fulfilling. Recently, he had become obsessed with the popular newcomer. He had visited her too often and his body had rapidly weakened. However, he never expected to die from this and much less awaken the system. This led him to feel a lingering sense of fear. Femme fatale indeed. The more beautiful a woman is, the more dangerous she is. Sanshi sighed in his heart that beauty was poisonous, but he was also excited. From now on, he's a person with a system. Life suddenly had something to look forward to. At this moment, a message entered his mind. It was about the system. After absorbing it, he fell into deep thought. It turned out that this system was called the life and death system. Its function was to reverse life and death and obtain power from death, to constantly make him stronger. Every time he died, he would become stronger. At the same time, he would also awaken various abilities and talents. In short, the system could prevent him from dying, and every time he died, he would become stronger because he can obtain energy or stats. The limitation was that he would only receive a basic reward for the first 10 times he was killed by the same target. After more than 10 times, although he could still revive, the basic reward would be gone. No matter how one looked at it, he would not die. Instead, he should take the initiative to die. In other words, this is a suicide system. Sanshi's expression was strange. Why was it such a strange system? To a certain extent, this system was like a game he had played in his previous life. It was a game with countless lives. As long as he was careful and serious, he could clear it no matter what. Wait, from the looks of it, I should have activated the system a long time ago, but I died a little too late. Sanshi was stunned. Who would have thought that the activation of the system required one to die first? Even if he knew, he wouldn't have dared to try. After thinking for a moment, Sanshi gradually calmed down and recalled the cause of his death. He died when his yang energy ran out. Was it because he overindulged, or did his lifespan run out? It should be the former. Sanshi's face twitched as he thought of the fairy-like beauty in the new moon brothel. Recently, he had been overindulging and his body became deficient. At most, his body was extremely weak, but not to the extent of death yet. Alas, even normal people could not withstand ghosts, let alone him, who had a kidney deficiency. Isn't there a system interface? Let me take a look. He thought of the system interface and muttered in his heart. Immediately, a message popped up. Name, Sanshi. Race, human. Spirit, 0.9. Physique, 0.7. Comprehension, 1.4. Talent, none. Energy, yang energy 1. Ability, none. Freedom attribute points, 1. As he opened up the system interface, before he could figure it out, his body suddenly turned cold. Why is it still a little cold? Didn't I get some yang energy? Sanshi tightened his hold on the blanket and reached for the lighter to light the lamp. In the dark night, he suddenly shivered, because he touched something wet. An extreme coldness spread throughout him. Then, a black shadow appeared in front of him. His neck was instantly grabbed by ice-like claws, and something wet crawled up his mouth. Boo-hoo! Sanshi's eyes widened. He wanted to call for help, but he could only whimper. Crack! His neck was broken and he started to bleed from all 7 orifices. You have been killed by Yin Spirit. Yang Energy +1. You have absorbed power from death and obtained 1 freedom attribute point. You will be resurrected in 3 seconds. No resurrection location set. Resurrection on the spot by default. A similar scene appeared 3 seconds later. Sanshi, whose face was filled with fear when he died, suddenly blinked. His corpse disappeared, then reappeared, unharmed. He instinctively twitched and sat up in shock from his pillow. His entire body returned to normal and he coughed violently. He felt as if he had vomited a lot of hair and was so disgusted that he vomited again. However, the next moment, his pupils constricted as he looked at the bed in fear. In the darkness, there was a figure in red with wet hair facing him. Holy shit! Sanshi was so frightened that his hair stood on its ends. Instinctively, he blurted out the catchphrase from his previous life and scrambled to escape. Just as he got up, a strand of hair flew over as if it was alive and wrapped around his neck like a poisonous snake, pulling him over. A large patch of black hair then fell down, covering him like a huge net. The more he struggled, the tighter it became. What the hash asterisk. Sanshi was in despair and could only wait for death. 10 seconds later, he turned into a corpse full of ligature marks and died filled with grievances. You have been killed by the Yin Spirit. Yang Energy +1. You have absorbed power from death and obtained 1 freedom attribute point. You will be resurrected in 3 seconds. No resurrection location set. Resurrection on the spot by default. After the system notification, the wounds on Sanshi's body strangely disappeared. Light appeared in his eyes again and he instinctively took a deep breath. The figure in front of him was stunned. She looked at this living person in a daze. She did not understand why she still did not succeed after killing him twice. "Ah!" she screamed and pounced. Sanshi had just caught his breath when he saw a pale and swollen woman's face opening her bloody mouth to bite him. "What ******************************************************************************************* He scolded. "Are you done?" He was furious. He raised his fist to give her a punch. His physical attack felt like hitting an ice cube, causing his fists to hurt. However, this stimulated his ferocity and caused him to punch fiercely everywhere. The red-dressed female ghost was very strong. Even if Sanshi retaliated and punched until he cracked his fist, he could not block her. Under the entanglement of her hair, the black shadow quickly pressed down on Sanshi and bit his neck. Splat! Sanshi's throat was bitten open and blood flowed out. His legs twitched for a while before he unwillingly fell into a pool of blood. However, he did not notice that when he spat out his blood, the Yin Spirit in front of him became a little illusory. You have been bitten to death by a Yin Spirit. Constitution +1. You have absorbed power from death and obtained 1 freedom attribute point. You will be resurrected in 3 seconds. No resurrection location set. Resurrection on the spot by default. Before the red-dressed female ghost could absorb Sanshi's essence, the latter revived again and the yang energy in his body increased again. This time, Sanshi had experience and started to resist. After reviving, he jumped up and started punching randomly. Then, he was bitten to death again. After being bitten to death 3 times in a row, Sanshi was extremely ashamed and resentful. "Damn it, are you done? Is this how you want to mock me?" Suddenly, there seemed to be a ball of fire burning in his heart and his anger completely erupted. He did not know if it was because of his anger or some other reason, but he felt that he was full of strength. After reviving, he directly lashed out a punch. Read latest chapters at wuxia world.site only. Dang, this punch actually forced the red-dressed female ghost back.